look at this girl. I mean, look at her. Does she remind you of anybody? I mean, there's something about her. Sort of reminds me of another female superhero. That's it. Darna. Hey everyone, Multi-Voice Reviewer again, and this another Filipino superhero I'm reviewing for you today is the one they call Varja. And the reason why she kind of remind me of Darna a bit, well, I looked up some histories on Wikipedia, and there's a lot in it that not many people didn't know about. You see, a long time ago, before the creator, Marz Revol, did I get it right? Revol? R-A-V-E-L-O? Revol? Oh well. Anyway, since he thought that America is full of male, strong superheroes, he thought he should create strong female superheroes. And therefore he created Darna. But before he gave her the name Darna, the first time he created her, the real name that he really gave her was actually Varja. But sadly, the company didn't give him all the rights to do whatever he wants with her. He just gave her the name, gave her the ability, and her look, and that's it. But sadly, the company decided to make up more stories for her, and he didn't have the rights to create his own. Didn't have rights to, he didn't have the rights for the character. And that really sucks. I always hate it if comic book companies, they want you to create a character, and its powers, and its origin, and then after that, they'll take over, and you don't have the rights for the character. That sucks! Like what happened to the two creators who created Superman, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. After they were done creating their comic book series, DC decided to let these two guys go, and he created a lawsuit for the ownership. They decided to sue him for the ownership of their character they created, but sadly, DC won. And those two creators were booted out. Until around the 80s, they have decided to give credit where credit is due, so they brought them back and gave them the ownership. At least Bob Kane had at least he owns the Batman stuff. And so did Stan Lee and all the other creators. Anyway, since the creators continuing on with the Varla comics, Mr. Revol, Marz Revol, he decided to start in another comic book company, and therefore he reused the character and the ability and changed her name to Darna. And as for the company who created this character, they didn't want her to leave out in the cold, since she's like the carbon copy to Darna. Kind of like Captain Marvel is a carbon copy to Superman, except their origin is different. And I meant Shazam Captain Marvel, not Marvel Captain Marvel. Anyway, so they pretty much changed the story for Varla so they will not get confused between her and Darna. And of course, I got the name back here. According to her origin, they said that her real name is Princess Vara from a dying planet called Vargon. Some name, Vargon. And she ended up on Earth, and she acts more like a spirit person. Nobody cannot see her and all. And then all of a sudden, she meets this young little girl who goes by the name of Olga. And Varja had sympathy. I mean, Vara, Princess Vara. She starts creating. She starts getting attached to Earth and start loving everything about it. Meets a friendly little girl named Olga. So what they did is every time when trouble happens, Olga and Princess Vara, they hug together and their bodies combine, and that's where she pops up and became Varja. And she goes around saving the day with the same powers and abilities just like Darna. But of course she has a mind of a little girl, so I would say she's a little similar to Shazam Captain Marvel. For those of you who don't know about Shazam Captain Marvel, his real name is Billy Batson, and he's like a 8-year-old kid until a wizard named Shazam decided to give him powers because he was chosen. So every time if he yells out the word Shazam, and then flash of lightning hits him, and he start looking like a full-grown man with the same abilities and powers like Superman, except he can summon lightning as well. So they cannot get confused between Captain Marvel and Superman. And it's the same thing, not to get confused, with Darna, or this girl. Which I kind of like the outfit, but Darna always been the one for my heart. And of course she got popular enough. I saw some clips on YouTube. Again, I wish somebody should make like a move. Somebody should find a movie or an episode with her in it and upload them on YouTube so I can watch them, enjoy them. And this is a movie version of Varja. I saw a few clips. It's pretty entertaining. Looked up the history. It's really awesome. One thing I gotta say about her, you're good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you're gonna be second best, see? Anyway, Varja, the story is pretty interesting, I had to say. Involving an alien and all. But at least she's not like that one character called Zaza. She was made to be like a parody to Darna. Except in the backstory, she was a gay guy, who swallowed a big rock called Zaza, and he swallows it and yells out, Zaza, and then becomes a woman with superpowers. And that was a parody. I would review her, but one of my favorite critics, named Linkara, crossing over with another critic called Demanda Hagen, did a review on that. So, I don't want to do a review of that anyway. It's kind of awkward, a guy transform into a woman. But that's just me. Just me. All in all, it's a interesting tale, an interesting concept in the story. And it kind of qualifies her as one of the, kind of a Filipino version of a Justice League. Or Avengers, or whatever you prefer. But of course, the next one I'm going to review is another kind of superhero who is a lot like Captain Barbell, except he has a different story and a different transformation. So you better stay tuned, there's going to be more left. And then for Christmas, well, you better wait. But here's one thing I'm going to let you know. Here's a little hint to you guys. What I'm going to be reviewing for Christmas. And here's my impression of it. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. And Superman, bah humbug. Bye-bye.